Hi, this is Amanda Wright, and I am doing a response on Electra by Sophocles, which I had the privilege of watching as part of the 2015 Greek Theater Festival a few weeks ago. It was probably my first experience with Greek theater, and I liked it a lot for reasons that I'll get into later. But our prompt for this response is: how do we see elements of Greek theater in the subject of the play and the technical elements of the play? So, as far as subject matter goes, how I see elements of Greek theater in that, the most obvious point of that stuck out to me was the story and the characters that they were using. Sophocles used characters and plotline from Greek mythology, which is a super common, super popular thing that playwrights were using to write theater back in those good old days. And that's actually one of my favorite parts about Greek theater, is that you can kind of follow the storylines of these characters through all of the different plays by different playwrights. And every play kind of seems like a sequel to the play that I may have seen or read before that. For example, last year we read Iphigenia and Aulis, and then seeing Electra was kind of like seeing the next part of that family's story, which was really cool. As far as construction of the play goes and how it relates, Sophocles' play relates to traditional Greek theater plays, the use of the chorus was what I expected after doing this Greek unit, based on the fact that they were always commenting on the action but not directly involved in the action, and they also would describe what was happening on stage, specifically when Clytemnestra was being murdered. They were, shouting out what was happening off stage, so the audience had an idea, but we didn't actually witness it, which is a pretty typical thing of Greek theater, that the action is happening off stage, and we hear about it from the chorus. As far as technical elements go, costuming was a big part of it. I could talk about the costuming decisions forever, but I will just say that it was obvious that characters like Clytemnestra were supposed to be representing traditional Greek theater. She, as the matriarch, was definitely the most classically dressed, which made perfect sense to me. Other characters, not so much, but I got that. And also Electra and her brother were in traditional Greek folkwear, which seems a lot more, I guess, practical and comfortable. And they were certainly more humble characters than their parents, who seemed to be rejecting, or Electra and her brother were kind of rejecting the aristocratic sort of lifestyle of Clytemnestra and her lover. Martine also told us in class that we could talk about what was not part of traditional Greek theater that we noticed. So I'm going to comment on the fact that the character Pilates, who I don't think said anything. I think she just played the drums the whole time, but there was a drummer in the back of the set who would play drums at different moments to either encourage the tension that was happening on stage or kind of accompany the action, which was definitely different. Not what I was expecting when they revealed the drum set. It was kind of cool, but a little bit distracting at times. I thought that, as useful as it was in some moments, it definitely built tension when it was necessary. There were also times when they were just having a conversation with Pilates. This character would be drumming, and it seemed unnecessary and kind of took me out of the action. So that would be something that not traditionally part of Greek theater, but was used anyway. And I guess my only issue with that, is that with the play in general, is that it's kind of building up, and it's so tense the whole time. The character of Electra, she is so melodramatic the entire show, that the whole show feels like a climax. So that when you reach the climax, it's not much of a climax. Probably the least interesting part of the show for me was what should have been the climax, when Clytemnestra and I don't know how to pronounce his name, but her lover and the hot guy in the suit. When they were dying, which I assume was supposed to be the strongest climax, was when I was least intrigued, because I thought I was so exhausted from all of the action that had already been happening. So yeah, that is my response. I really loved the show. It really made me want to go see more straight theater. Absolutely. So, thank you. Oh no, this is 5 minutes. I'm so sorry.